Before removing any panels, disconnect the washer from electrical supply. To remove the top panel, remove the 3 screws along the back side of the panel. Lift up slightly while pulling the top back. Then lift the top off the washer. To remove the rear panel, first remove the top panel, then remove the 14 screws securing the rear panel to the washer chassis. Slide the rear panel downward to release it from the bracket above. To remove the drive motor, first walk the belt off of the drive pulley. Then remove the motor bolt, securing the motor to the tub. Turn the motor counterclockwise while pulling slightly to the rear. This will release the motor from the tub mounting posts. Once the motor is free from the tub, disconnect the wiring harness and then remove the motor completely from the washer. To remove the drive pulley, block the pulley with a screwdriver and then turn the nut securing the pulley to the basket shaft. Once the pulley is loose, pull it straight from the basket shaft. To remove any of the 4 gap dampers, first grab the top of the gap damper with a crescent wrench and turn it counterclockwise. This will release it from the tub opening. Remove the bottom of the gap damper in a similar manner to release it from the cabinet base. To remove a counterweight, remove the 3 bolts securing the counterweight to the tub. And lift the counterweight off of the tub. To remove the flow meter, first disconnect the hose clamps securing the hoses to the flow meter itself. Disconnect the electrical connectors and remove the flow meter from the washer. To remove the central control unit, slide a flat-bladed screwdriver under the tab securing the CCU to the rear bracket. While pulling on the CCU, lifting the tab to release it from the bracket. Then disconnect each of the electrical connectors from the CCU. To remove the console, first remove the dispenser drawer. Remove the screw securing the console to the washer cabinet. Open the washer door and locate the slot underneath the console and insert a flat-bladed screwdriver to depress the locking tab securing the console to the frame. Lift up on the bottom of the console and guide the ribbon cable through the opening in the washer bracket. To remove the user interface from the console, first remove the control knob. Place the console face down on a protective surface. With a flat-bladed screwdriver, depress the tabs surrounding the user interface and pull the user interface from the console itself. To remove the dispenser, first remove the screw securing the front of the dispenser to the control bracket, then remove the screw securing the top of the dispenser to the bracket. Disconnect all hoses front and rear of the dispenser as well as any electrical connections while sliding the dispenser rearward to release it from the keyhole slots in the cabinet. To remove the washer door, first remove the trim on the left side of the washer front panel as well as the hinge cover. Remove the 4 screws securing the hinge to the front panel, including the hidden screw underneath the hinge cover, and lift the door and hinge assembly off the front panel. To remove the front panel, first release the retaining spring securing the bellows to the front panel. Remove the bellows from the front panel, pushing it into the basket opening. Next, remove the 3 screws securing the door switch to the front panel. While pulling back on the bellows, reach in and release the door switch from the wiring harness connector and pull the door switch into the opening. The door switch features a manual unlock device in the event the door lock fails to open under normal conditions. Pulling down on the tab will release the door lock manually. To remove the lower access panel, remove the 3 screws along the lower edge of the access panel. Pull out slightly at the bottom of the panel and pull down to release it from the front panel. To complete the removal of the front panel, remove the 4 screws shown. Pull out slightly at the bottom of the panel and pull down to release it from the upper mounting bracket. To remove the bellows, first remove the water inlet tube from the bellows on the left side. Loosen the clamp securing the bellows to the outer tub and remove the bellows and clamp. When checking the large object filter, be aware that there could be water in the pump. Unscrew the large object filter to remove it and check for any obstructions. To remove the pump assembly, first lift the access cover on the right side of the pump motor and disconnect the electrical connector. Release the front locking tab on the pump and slide the pump forward, releasing it from its base. Disconnect the hose clamps and hoses and remove the pump. To remove the motor control unit, first open the access door with a screwdriver and disconnect the wiring harness connectors in the motor control unit. Okay, locate the locking tab underneath the motor control unit and with a flat blade screwdriver lift up on the tab while pulling the control forward, releasing it from the washer base. To remove the heating element and temperature sensor, first disconnect the wiring connectors to the heater and sensor. Loosen but do not remove the 10 mm nut securing the heater bracket to the tub. And pull out the heater assembly. To remove the tub, disconnect the ground wire attached to the rear bearing hub and route the ground wire through the looms in the tub opening. Disconnect the pressure tube connector from the rear of the tub and pull the connector from the tub opening. To remove the drive pulley, block the pulley with a screwdriver and then turn the nut securing the pulley to the basket shaft. Once the pulley is loose, pull it straight from the basket shaft. Remove the front top frame bracket as well as the two rear frame brackets of the washer cabinet. Remove the 3 counterweights. When removing the lower counterweight, do not let it hang freely. Once the 2 outer bolts are removed, the weight could fall. Hold on to the counterweight at all times during the removal process. The bolts are secured to the tub through the use of flat nuts that are held in pockets in the tub opening. With assistance, lift the tub assembly by the springs through the cabinet front and rest it on the floor, being careful not to damage the floor or the basket. Mark the clamp locations with a pencil and remove the clamps with a flat blade screwdriver. Once all the clamps are removed, the tub halves can now be separated and the basket pulled from the rear hub. When reassembling the tub halves, align the tub clamps with the pencil marks made previously. Using a hammer, tap the clamps in place around the perimeter of the tub. This concludes this teardown video of the Maytag Epic front-loading washer.